Another day, another dollar. Not really, I guess. But anyways, back up here in the shop again. And got a package in the mail. So I got some of the stuff I ordered. We're going to open that here in a minute. And I was thinking about tearing this motor down. I got this, I'm still looking for a motor. I found another motor. And it's about an hour away. They even want like 50 bucks for it, which isn't a bad deal. But man, an hour is a ways to drive just to get a motor. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I thought about tearing this one down and seeing how bad it really was. And I might do that. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this video, but I might do it and do a video just to tear it apart. It was in a flood, but if it's sealed up, is there going to be water in it? I don't know. I don't know how that works. So I'm just looking at the motor sitting on the floor. It's sitting down. Sitting down there. So, I mean, I don't know how much it was underwater. I know the flood that I got the mower from, I know the mower was completely underwater. But if that motor's sealed up, would water get in there? I would think it would, because it comes through the carburetor. I don't know. I think it's pretty nasty inside there. But anyways, I don't know. I might pull it up on the bench and just tear it apart, just to tear it apart, just for the fun of it. But anyways, I'm expecting 2 packages. They're supposed to both be here today, and I was trying to wait on the other one, but it's like 5 o'clock in the evening and it ain't came yet. So I don't know if it's coming yet or not. It's going to come late if it doesn't. I was going to open both of them. But I got one package. We'll go ahead and open it and take a look at it and see what we got, and we'll go from there, I guess. So I'm trying to get a decent camera angle, and this is what I got. So I don't know. This is going to have to do it because I don't know how else to do it. I don't got a tripod, and I just got the camera phone just propped up against a piece of metal. So that's what we got. So this is my package that came from Amazon, came in the mail today. So let's find out what we got. I know what it is, but you guys don't. Nice. I think I can go ahead and see if I can slice my fingers completely off here. Not really, I don't want to do that. That would hurt. But anyways, I got it wrapped up tighter than Fort Knox. So, I got this piece here. Man, they got her. Hope there's nothing down inside of it. I'm gonna cut and ruin this thing. That's a cable. I think that's the cable there. Oh man. Just slicing and dicing. Just slicing and dicing. Something just fell. Oh, what fell? Don't lose that. I got a little Allen. You guys can see that. Maybe you can't. End up losing some of this stuff. So what else we got is a brake lever and a one of those things. So I cut my bag. That's what happened. I cut my bag. See? What happens when you slice and dice? Put those 2 things in there. That should take care of that. We got one of these bad boys. Some more bolts and whatever. And then the cable here. So what we got is a set of brakes for my lawnmower, my hot rod lawnmower, my lowered my slammed lawnmower. So that's what we got. So sorry about that camera angle, but we'll take a better look at these, or closer look at these. So I got my brakes, the actual brake here, and then this is the drum, I guess you'd call it, and this thing goes around this like that. This thing's supposed to go inside of this, but it doesn't really fit down inside there. So I'll have to work on that. I'd imagine this thing just got a little bit out of round, and I'll just have to work that down into it. And we got a cable hooking up, and then a bunch of extra, or not extra, but a bunch of bolts and stuff. This thing, I don't know how that thing got out of the bag, but that's the bag I sliced, I think. And then, obviously, that thing there. So now I got to take this thing over and make sure that this is the right size. I think my shaft is 5/8. I measured it before I ordered it. So this should fit. I just want to make sure that fits. And we can start getting this thing set up on the lawnmower itself. So I got my mower jacked up here. I got it sitting on a tire. And I got the wheel off. So this is the right side of the mower if we look at it. That's the front of the mower. This is the back of the mower. And I'm thinking I'm going to put the brake on the right side. I'm right-handed. And if I'm holding the steering wheel with my left hand and reach over with a lever to pull, unless I hook it up to the foot pedal, which is up there, which I might do that. I might hook it to the foot pedal, but I'm not sure yet. That disengages the belt, so I don't know if that's going to really work. I think a hand brake would be better. And we'll hook that up on the right side. So I think that's where we're going to put it at. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys something, and this is what we got. So this is my shaft, and this hole here only goes to there, obviously. So this thing has the big hole in it. It's going to go on like that. We'll just set that on there for now. I don't got it bolted up or anything. I'm just messing around. And then you got this, which goes on like this. Okay. So this thing's only going to be able to go to about, maybe about right there. Because that key's got to hook in there and grab it. So if that thing goes there, then obviously that thing's going to go like that. That's how much space we're going to have left over. Which if I put the tire on, you got that long, which I could cut that back a little bit, I guess. If I cut this thing down a little bit, it would still catch because it comes the whole way through. So that might be what we have to do, maybe cut them down. But there was a spacer on there, and it was this spacer here that went on there, so it pushed the tire out a little bit, but that's more than that, I think. But that's what we got. And what I was hoping was this thing can go the whole way in like this. You know what I mean? That's a long ways to come in and basically just go around part of the transmission here. Which then this thing could slide in like that. And it could set up like that. Right? But now the keyhole ain't there. You see where the keyhole is? And the only thing holding down in place is them Allen heads. Which would probably work. But if you pulled on it really hard, there's a good chance that it would spin also. So that's the whole point of the Allen keys there. So that's what we got. I don't know. Let me get this thing bolted to this. Put the key in here. Get this thing tightened down and then put the wheel on. Put the wheel on there and see what we got for spacing. So I have the brakes on and it's sitting there. And the problem we got is this keyhole when it comes to here. That's our problem that we got. Because I like that thing to sit in. It'll sit in there. And if you see behind there, I got the bolts that way. And I can flip them bolts around. But it's got clearance. Like, it's not going to hit anything if it spins in that far. It's not going to hit nothing. But I would spin them bolts around anyways. And put the heads, the nuts out on this side. I like to be able to get it in. If I could get it in like that, that would work. But the problem is the tire. Let me put the tire on and show you what I mean. So here's the tire on. The tire's on there. The tire's all the way in. And you can't see down inside there, but it's basically down inside there. That is up against the brake on this side. So the brake's as far as it will go, and the tire's as far in as it will go. Come to the front. You see, you almost have enough. I think there is enough actually. But the problem is, couple problems is obviously if you look at that from the tire, it's set into the tire, so the cable is going to end up hitting on the tire. There's ways around that, but in reality this tire needs to be about like that. If this brake's going to sit here, that tire needs to be about like that. Then you can see the clearance on that tire. Puts it right on the edge of that tire, which would work. But then you see how far out that tire is sitting to get that clearance. So we're going to extend this axle is what we're going to have to probably do on both sides. Figure out how many inches out we're going to come. Get this brake set up where we want it set up at. Enough clearance in between the tire, the brake, so the cable clears. And then figure out a way to extend this axle. Well, these brakes are kind of installed. So I took a piece of all thread down here and I just got it bolted in. We'll see if that ends up working. And I got a bolt and a nut on each side over here. Wrapping around. And obviously I got to still hook up that part. It came with a cable, but I'm not hooking the cable up. And I think I'm going to use my foot pedal. So we're going to weld a bracket on the foot pedals right here. And we'll weld a bracket underneath there and run a bar back through here. That kind of, I don't know. It's going to be hard to explain, but once you see it, you'll understand. Like I said, I got to cut this thing out the rest of the way. That way I can line up my keyhole, which would be about right there. And this thing spins the way it's supposed to spin. And everything like that. So that's good. So that's what we got. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the tires on, and we'll get a measurement of the width of the rear. Because once we get these brakes on, we know how wide the rear is going to be. So we know how wide to make the front. I got the small tires on there right now. So the tires are on, and they're in where they're supposed to be. So if you can see, I got enough room to put my clip on. This is where the brakes are at there. There's the clearance that we got. So we got plenty of room on that clearance and everything. So that's all going to work out pretty good. And on this side, we've got enough room. It's in far enough so we can get our clip on and everything. So that's all going to work out. So the tire width is 33 inches from the outside of the tread to the outside of the tread. So that's what we're going to have. Now that that's done, I can go ahead and start working on my front. And I'm probably going to keep the front at the same spacing. It's 34.5 outside to outside on the small tires. I think on the big tires, it's 35 maybe. I don't remember. It's a little bit wider in the front than in the back. But now that I got this thing where I need to go, I need to get them brakes on. I can go ahead and start cutting up this front end, moving it forward, and getting that front end done.